guys, I'm FPL Nymfria and welcome back to the home of FPL videos. Well, the points are back, but so are the red arrows for me. So let's take a look at how I got on in game week 10. I'm starting to feel like a broken record here when it comes to Pope. I'm not sure there is much to say here, to be honest. The man let in 4 goals against Chelsea and only managed to get me a point from the fact that he played the game and made 3 saves. Burnley seemed like a mixed box of chocolates at the back at the moment. You never quite know which one you're going to get. It's a little frustrating, I have to admit. He has a bit of a better run now until game week 14, so let's see if things pick up there, fingers crossed. Taking a look at my defence, and I made a bit of a balls up here, so if you look back on last week's video, you will see that I had Soyuncu in and Lundstrom on the bench. I allowed myself to be a bit Twitter swayed on this one. Lots of comments on how Southampton have always scored at least 1 goal at home, and Soyuncu's away record not being that fabulous, see me switch my defenders and my bench around fairly last minute, something I said I wouldn't do this season, but I inevitably got a bit sucked in, meaning I got Lundstrom's 2 points as opposed to Soyuncu's 6. I have no idea how Trent only got 1 point from that Spurs-Liverpool match. He was excellent, 130 touches, 83.1% accurate pass rate, 20 crosses, a shot on target and a shot blocked. I just don't know how he didn't get an attacking return of some kind. But this is the risk we take when we play these kind of players in big matches like this. He was unlikely to have got us a clean sheet, but the hope was from all of these chances he might have managed a return of some kind. Still, maybe he can repay us next week. And then lastly, Mr. Rico, 2 weeks in a row, this man has managed to add some decent points towards my team total, and this week he added 5. You can't say fairer than that at 4.2 million. Moving on to my midfield, and it looks a tad healthier this week with all but one of my mids returning points. KDB with a controversial goal, no goal situation. Did David Silva touch it? I don't know, to be honest. Every time I watch it I change my mind. But either way, at least KDB got the assist point, as there was talk for a minute that the goal shouldn't have been allowed if awarded to Silva, so I'll take the 6 points and run away there. Mo Salah, 5 shots on target, 1 shot off target and a shot blocked. Looked a bit more like his usual self this weekend. However, I have noticed he's getting pushed quite wide this season. I'm not sure if I just didn't notice this as much last season because he was doing well, or if it is quite a new thing for him. Either way, with Mane consistently being amongst those points and this odd ankle injury for Mo, I am slowly getting persuaded to switch allegiances to Mane. This worries me as this has gone badly in the past, but there are many successful people without him this season as opposed to just a few last season. One half of the M&M's returned this week for me. Mount picked up an assist for 5 points, and McGinn was again very unlucky not to return any points. He hit the crossbar in the dying minutes of the City match, and I leapt up thinking it was in. The problem I have now though is that despite him looking excellent each week, it's been 3 game weeks since he returned, and he does now have a bit of a run of tougher fixtures until game week 15, so I'll need to have a think over whether I should sell or not. Moving on to my forwards, and it's been both epically bad and epically good in both measures here. Let's get the bad out of the way first, and as you can see, I captained Aguero this week. Yep, I just did not think Pep would bench him at home to Aston Villa after missing Palace and playing midweek. Pep said he missed a week before because he hadn't played, and yet this week he plays midweek and Pep still benched him. My heart sunk when I seen this team news, and I think I'm done now. I definitely don't feel confident captaining Aguero anymore, and that in itself makes me question whether I should be owning him. I'll go into it in a bit more detail in my Game Week 11 preview, so let's move on to Abraham. Abraham with 5 points from an assist and minutes played. It was the Pulisic show in that Burnley match, so I think Tammy and Mount were a tad lucky to get a look in with the point, but I'll take it anyway. And lastly, we move on to my success of the week. I was a bit bat-shizzle last week, making my transfer really early in the week, as I had the exact cash to do Pookie to Vardy. I was tempted by Wilson, but I just had a gut feel about Vardy on this one, and thank God God I listened to it, as even though I thought he might do well, I did not expect 3 goals and an assist for 20 points. He almost equalled my score of last week all on his own. If only I had considered captaining him, but with Aguero in my team, it almost blinds me to other options. However, I am grateful to have just had Vardy in my team this week. I hope this wasn't a one-off for Leicester and that they can push on now with such good fixtures. So with all of that, I got 56 points, 7 above the average, but still a small red arrow. And by small, I mean a 1.8k drop, so not bad at all. It definitely could have been a lot worse. However, I can't help feel it was a missed chance to gain some serious ground. If I just played Soyuncu and captained KDB, I think the places are close enough for that to have been a decent green arrow, aside from what a Vardy captain would have done for me if I had decided to captain him. But hey look, I'm grateful for what I have here, and we reset and go again for Game Week 11. And on that note, let's take a look at Game Week 11. This is how I am currently lining up, and on the face of things, I'm fairly happy with this team. However, there is a massive elephant in the room here, and its name is Pep. Ordinarily, anyone with Aguero at home to Southampton would be captaining without hesitation and not considering selling him on at all. However, this season is not an ordinary situation, and it looks like Pep is phasing Aguero out. I can't imagine how Aguero must feel about all of this, but it has made my decision very difficult, as every time Sterling returns, my rank plummets. I wonder if the combination of KDB plus Sterling is more highly owned around me, and therefore would I be better off getting Sterling back as a blocking tactic. Not that I think Sterling has been worth it previously, but his form does now look to be changing. Whether or not he plays would of course be one of those Pep things, probably not if I get him, but at least I'd be getting the same points as those other people around me with Sterling. Now I still have 2 free transfers, and there's a few ways I can get Sterling back that involve selling Aguero and either McGinn or Cantwell. At the moment I have the exact cash for Connolly and Sterling, for Aguero and Cantwell, but I want to wait out midweek for injury, more so than any indication of Pep Roulette, because I really don't think we're going to get any clues there. So if I miss any price rises that affect that move, I can do McGinn to Sterling and Aguero to a 5.6 or less. Ayew, Connolly and Moset all appeal there. Now some news on Salah might help, as if he's out I could use this moment to get Mane with a -4 and up that forward position to a 6.2, which mainly brings in Ings and Wesley as options, but I'm not so keen on them. But I would consider Mopay at that price. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Moving on to my trending transfers this week, and we're early again here, but let's take a look at how things could develop ahead of Game Week 11. In terms of the goalkeepers, the trending transfers out this week is Adrian. Over 26,000 managers have sold on the Liverpool goalkeeper now that he has lost his spot back to Alisson. Patricio is also picking up sales, with over 13,000 managers selling on the Wolves goalkeeper. It's going to be a close one for the trendiest goalkeeper transfer in this week. Henderson, Schmeichel and Alisson all have over 20,000 transfers in, with Gazaniga, the stand-in Spurs goalkeeper, picking up speed with over 17,000 transfers in. His 4.4 mil price tag and 8 points against Liverpool have made him very trendy indeed. In defence, Digne and the City lads are the trendiest transfers out so far this week. Digne has had over 68,000 sales this week, with Zinchenko just behind with 55,000 plus sales. Otamendi and Van Dijk are also in managers' bad books, with both having over 50,000 sales. The trendiest defensive transfer in this week by a mile is Chilwell. Not surprising after his clean sheet, 1 goal and 2 assists for a massive 19-point haul this week. In midfield, there are 2 players fighting it out to be the trendiest midfielders out this week, and they are Cantwell and Mahrez. Both players have had over 60,000 sales this week, as managers get fed up of mixed game time and poor results. Again, in midfield, Leicester have made a big impact, with Perez being the trendiest player in by far, with over 90,000 plus of you getting IOZ in. KDB and Tielemans are hoping to catch up though, with over 70,000 people choosing to buy them in already. Up front, it's not been a great week for some of the previous trendiest transfers, with Aguero, Pukki and Wilson all losing sales. Aguero and Pukki have had over 147,000 people lose confidence in them, and Wilson has lost over 75,000 managers already. It's been a great week for Vardy though, as he dominates the trendiest transfers in, of all the positions, with over 321,000 managers jumping aboard. Abraham and Rashford are the next best trendiest forwards in, with Abraham having 59,000+ sales in, and Rashford being picked up by 48,000 of you already. And that's it you guys, thanks for watching. Please feel free to check out my sponsors fantasyfootballfix.com, and please don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Until next time, Nymfria out.